Hello, today I am interviewing my sister, Linda Collier, that a lot of you know and you have met or you've spoken to her on the phone, and she also is an EPT practitioner. She has taken many trainings. Hello, Linda.
Hi, Annette.
I'm glad you could come today. We're going to start with the question I give everyone, and that is, when was your first EPT training? And how many EPT trainings have you had?
Oh my goodness. Let's go all the way back to 1994. And it was the very first training that was offered. Yeah, that's 20 years ago. And I can't tell you how many trainings I've had because I've had so many. I have had the luxury to be able to fit into trainings in the local area anytime I want, and I do.
That's fantastic. I know that you also, along with me, you and I are the only two who have done every single LifeWorks. And we're coming up on number 28, so you and I have both done 27 LifeWorks. And I know because we've both done this together, you've done a lot of the hospitality and I've done a lot of the facilitating, but we've also been participants in most of those LifeWorks so that we were able to get a lot of family healing done just through LifeWorks and personal healing done. So I know that that's a big part of your training as well. So do
And
you
I've
have?
also I've also been to the progressive concepts, all of them.
Oh yeah, that's true. And that's additional training, which means that you've got some foundations that a lot of people haven't, they kind of have to dig up on their own or kind of learn as they go, where they could be picking up some of that stuff in some of these additional trainings. So why did you decide to take EPT way back when I started?
For starters, it was something that um, I saw that could help my family. I had a lot of children at home at the time, and it was something that I could do conveniently because it was with my sister. Um, so that made it convenient for me. A little more permission to get out of the house at that point in my life. But I saw it as a tool to help my kids, help myself, and I definitely used you as my practitioner to help myself.
Well, you definitely were one of the most amazing EPT experiences for me. The things that I've done with you, you're nothing short of a miracle, Linda. And I say that whenever I get the chance to tell people that watching you tackle some of the toughest problems that people can have in their life, um, issues with your most intimate relationships, issues with your own body and your weight, having your children be affected by some of the things in the family and then having to help them kind of navigate their healing, and me kind of being a part of that, and wanting so much for your family and seeing just miraculous healing take place, that has made me really grateful that I even learned this in the first place. I totally am grateful to you for a
It
lot of
makes me,
this.
thank you. It makes me grateful that you have been in my life, that you would facilitate that for my family. It, this is like a love fest because I can't even describe the gratitude that I have for the changes that I've seen in my family. I can't even imagine where my family would be now if it hadn't been for the changes with EPT.
Well, you have had an amazing heart to to know that that kind of healing is possible for your family, and to, you know, to trust in the process. And this thing that came to me and came to my family, and you're my family, and that just kind of came to being in this amazing way. So I really thank you for that. So one of the things that I know that some people know, if they look at some of the older pictures from LifeWorks, they know that you have lost a lot of weight, and that in addition to EPT, you have learned some kind of amazing life skills with weight loss, how to take off massive amounts of weight, how to eat much healthier. So tell me a little bit about your whole paleo, your HCG experience, and what your super skills are there.
Okay, well, I am a weight loss coach, and the path that I take my clients down is a HCG protocol. And HCG is a hormone that literally tags into your abnormal fat. It's a homeopathic. It tags into your abnormal fat while you're eating a very low calorie diet, and it consumes that using the nutritional value that is within your toxic tissue. And as you lose weight, your body gains the nutrition from that weight that you've lost. Um, the 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 percentage of success is 100% when you stick with protocol. It's always going to be successful. It's very fast weight loss. It's done in cycles, weight loss, maintenance. And the maintenance I found I have considered the most important part, because you have to relearn to eat a different way, because you have to understand that when you lose weight, you go back to the same way you ate before, and you are totally going to gain weight again. I mean, it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. You can't lose weight and go back to the same way of eating and expect not to gain the weight back. So you have to relearn how to eat your food, what your body responds to, what kinds of foods it responds to negatively, what types of food it responds to positively, and use that in the future, and stop letting food dictate to you what you eat and what you consume. My maintenance is eating paleo, and I have a paleo blog, paleo recipe blog that I put in. I have lots of recipes. Paleo is grain-free, refined sugar-free, mostly dairy-free, although I do use goat cheese, not cow cheese. But that's it. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Yeah, you eat lots of nuts too.
So in this is such a perfect example of how, there's this EPT is such a profound tool, and some people, when they start to see changes that they can make a lot easier than they've ever made in their life, start to happen kind of magically almost. Some people kind of want to throw out the action-oriented list in their life. They think, that EPT is just going to be this tool that allows them to dial in, and then magically they're going to lose weight. And really, that's not the truth. The truth is EPT can help you have the mindset so that you can do the actions, and that you're going to be more likely to make a decision to take the actions that get you to the goal you're hoping to get to. So I know that you really discovered that, in the sense that, you spent a lot of time, years, doing EPT and losing some weight, but it really wasn't until you were capable of taking the most right action that you could take that did allow that weight loss to happen. So can you talk a little bit about that?
About losing 100 pounds and gaining it, and losing 100 pounds again.
And how how you utilized EPT in that process,
Yeah,
along with the right action.
yeah, and that's very true, because you can do, like you said, you can do all of the things that are necessary to get you to your goal. There are always barriers to success, and whenever I came to a barrier that kept me from being successful, or kept me at a standstill for a certain length of time, I would always know there's something emotional here that I need to get in check. And I would get EPT, find out what the emotional barrier was to my success, and then I was able to start being successful again. But that's one of the things that I have done all along. Every time there was a barrier or something that was holding me back from achieving the goals that I wanted in this, to get to a better body, healthier body, it's just get EPT done and find out what the barrier is and eliminate it.
So, Linda, how do you describe what EPT is to the people you now work with, where you're coaching them in weight loss? And I know that part of your program is doing EPT along with the HCG program. How do you describe EPT to them?
Oh, goodness. I tell them, when you issue with what you, the goal that you set for yourself, and you have something that makes you upset, if you just have a little bristle that keeps you from successfully getting to your goal, then it's time to find out what the emotional aspect of it is. And it's as easy as muscle testing and identifying where the issue came from, why the issue is there, and doing a few forgiveness statements, and you can get past that. It's just as simple as that.
What are the top 3 reasons that you think people should even do EPT?
Let's see, number 1, that bristly feeling that you can't identify, that you don't know why it's there, the reason why you get upset and you have no rational reason why you're upset. That's the number 1 reason. You know, we all have those little bristly feelings that we can't identify. That's the number 1 reason. Why do you need to be that? Why do you need to feel that way? Change it with EPT. Physical pain. Physical pain is another reason to do EPT. And just success in your life, having successful things in your life, like weight loss, like a healthier life. Those things that you're not being successful at, this can help you to be successful.
So I know that you have had, like me, a lot of hours of EPT done in your own life. And I know that you, having been at LifeWorks and having been in my office, that you've also witnessed a lot of EPT miracles. So what is the most amazing EPT story that you remember over the years that really impresses you the most?
I think my husband's change. The huge change in our relationship. The I can't even verbalize the huge change in his life and our relationship that has been nothing short of miracle.
I would agree with that. I put your husband's change in a category all by itself. I've said this a lot, and that is, if that is the only person that I ever saw change, it would have been worth it for all that I have done and all that I have learned in EPT, because John Collier's change was life-changing for everybody, including me. It was
and his
just
whole family.
Yes, yes. His change was pivotal to your children, your grandchildren, your future as a family, and it was through EPT that door was open to the divine, and he was able to transform into a much more loving, kind, giving person and authentic than we had ever seen up until that point. And
Yeah,
it
and
was,
I think it also affected his success in business.
wow. I know that his success has escalated over the years since he has had the greatest change with EPT, and that is remarkable to think about that as well. So tell me how EPT has changed your life for good.
Well, the most obvious is my weight loss. And I am, one of the things that I'm able to do is do EPT with family members. And doing EPT with family members, and I've heard people say, I just can't do EPT with family members, but I beg to differ. When I do EPT with family members, I create a more intimate relationship with them. And I get to know them so much better. And I'm talking about my in-laws, my son-in-laws, my grandchildren. I get to know them so much better than my grandmother ever knew me, my mother ever knew her grandchildren, except for the grandchildren that she had that she did EPT with. The intimate relationship that I have created, or that has been created with my family because of doing EPT, is phenomenal.
So tell me a little bit about your family.
Okay, I have 4 adult children. They're all married. They're all in their 30s. They're 30-something, except the oldest. He just turned 40. And they all have children, so I have lots of grandchildren. They range in age from 4 years old to 15 years old or 16 years old. So big family. Actually, my husband, there's my husband and me right there.
Okay, so my last question is, if there was a person who was on the fence about EPT, having it done, deciding to commit to this therapy in their life, because EPT certainly is a holistic therapy that kind of breaks through those invisible forces in your life that hold you back, what would you say to someone who's just kind of thinking, I don't know, what would you say to them?
Well, first of all, I work in your office, and there's a guarantee in that office that says if you are not satisfied with your first EPT visit, you don't have to pay and you don't ever have to come back. So I would say just do it. In 20 years of working in the office, only one person has decided that they didn't really want EPT. It's going to make changes. You may not see the difference in a big giant shift. It could be subtle changes. It could be a big giant shift. It could feel like a weight lifted off your back. But my advice is just do it. Just do it. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being an amazing support in EPT and an amazing inspiration for me, because you are definitely one of the reasons that I have continued on this road with your encouragement for all the times that I wanted to quit and become a caterer. You were there telling me, no, this is what you're supposed to do, Annette. And I couldn't do it without you, Linda. I thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you.
And I'll see you in the office. Bye-bye.
Bye.